today, my dear students. Today we'll study Unit 2, Lesson 2, Excretion and Human Urinary System. What's the meaning of excretion? Excretion, it is the process of getting rid of the excretory materials that are produced from burning of digested food inside the cell out of the body. Getting rid of excretory materials out of the body. Excretory materials are produced from burning of digested food inside the cell. So excretion, it is the process of getting rid of excretory materials that are produced from burning of digested food out of the body. When we eat food, some food is not digested, where this indigested food becomes useless. So it must be expelled outside the body. It must be expelled outside the body in the form of solid wastes. Some food is digested, then blood carries the digested food and oxygen. The blood carries digested food and oxygen to all the body cells. Body cells burn the digested food with oxygen to produce energy and release some waste materials to blood to be expelled out of the body. These waste materials are called excretory materials. These waste materials are called excretory materials or cell wastes. There are two types of wastes. Number one, solid wastes. Number two, excretory materials. Number one, solid wastes. After digesting and absorbing food in the small intestine, the indigested food materials are collected in the large intestine. These solid wastes come out as stool. So, solid wastes, they are the indigested food that is stored in the large intestine until they pass out of the body. Solid wastes are the indigested food that is stored in the large intestine until they pass out of the body. Number two, excretory materials. Excretory materials are wastes produced by the body cells. Excretory materials are wastes produced by the body cells and known as excretory materials or cell wastes. The excretory materials contain harmless materials that the body cannot use them and poisonous materials. The body must get rid of them. So the excretory materials, they are waste materials produced inside of the body cells where the body must get rid of them. Excretory materials are waste materials produced inside the body cells where the body must get rid of them. The excretory materials are: number one, carbon dioxide. Number two, nitrogenous wastes. Number three, excess salts and excess water. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide produced with water vapor when the body cells burn digested food by oxygen to produce energy. Carbon dioxide is produced when the body cells burn the digested food by oxygen to produce energy. Number two, nitrogenous wastes. Nitrogenous wastes such as urea and uric acid produced from breaking down of proteins like meat, egg, chicken are produced from breaking down of proteins. Nitrogenous wastes are produced from breaking down of proteins. Number three, excess salts and excess water. The body gets rid of the excess salts by dissolving them in the excess salts. How do your body cells get rid of the excretory materials? When body cells produce wastes, they relay them to blood through the thin wall of blood capillaries. So carbon dioxide can excreted from the two lungs during the exhalation process. Carbon dioxide excreted from the two lungs during the exhalation process, or exhaled from the two lungs during the exhalation process. Number 2, nitrogenous wastes. Urea and uric acid are removed by the two kidneys in the urinary system. Number 3, excess salts and excess water are expelled outside the body through the urinary system and the skin. Excess salts and excess water are expelled outside the body through urinary system in the form of urine. Number 2, the skin by secreting sweat from special glands in the skin called sweat glands. So the excretory materials, again, number 1, carbon dioxide produced from burning of digested food by oxygen to produce energy, and excreted from the two lungs during exhalation process with water vapor. Nitrogenous wastes produced by breaking down of proteins and excreted from the urinary system in the form of urine. Excess salts and excess water produced by eating all types of food. The body gets rid of them by dissolving excess salts in excess water. Excreted from the urinary system in the form of urine and the skin in the form of sweat. The excretory organs. They are a group of organs which get rid of harmful wastes produced from burning of digested food and expel them out of the body. The excretory organs get rid of harmful wastes that produced from burning of digested food and expel them out of the body. Give reason. For example, give reason. Skin is one of the excretory organs because it gets rid of excess salts and excess water in the form of sweat. The human urinary system. Human urinary system is a system that clarifies blood from the nitrogenous wastes, excess salts and excess water. It is a system that clarifies blood or get rid of nitrogenous wastes, excess salts and excess water. Human urinary system lies in the abdominal cavity, near the backbone. Human urinary system lies in the abdominal cavity near the backbone. What's the functions of the human urinary system? Number 1, it filters blood from excess salts, urea, uric acid, and other waste materials. Filters blood from excess salts, urea, uric acid, and other waste materials. Number 2, it expels these wastes outside the body in the form of urine. Human urinary system clarifies blood from nitrogenous wastes, excess salts, and excess water. Filtered blood from excess salts, urea, uric acid, and other waste materials, and expels these wastes outside the body in the form of urine. What is the structure of the human urinary system? The human urinary system consists of three parts, which are the two kidneys, the two ureters, the urinary bladder. Two kidneys, two ureters, and the urinary bladder. The human urinary system. The structure of the human urinary system. Number 1, artery. It carries blood containing nitrogenous wastes to be filtered in the kidneys. We said that arteries carry blood from the heart to all the body cells. In this system, artery carries blood containing nitrogenous wastes to be filtered in the kidneys. Vein carry the clean blood or the pure blood which is filtered by the two kidneys to the heart. Vein, it carries the clean blood or pure blood that is filtered by the two kidney to the heart, which pumps it to the other body parts. The two kidneys, the main organs of the system. Two kidneys, the main organs of the system. They take the shape of pin. They are located on both sides of the backbone. Again, two kidneys, the main organs of the urinary system. They take the shape of pin and located on both sides of the backbone. What is the function of the kidneys? The kidneys contain about 1 million minute tubules to filter the blood from urea, uric acid, excess salts and excess water, and other waste materials. Number 1, kidneys filter blood from urea, uric acid, excess salts and excess water and other waste materials, because kidneys contain about 1 million minute tubules to filter the blood. Number 2, getting rid of these materials dissolved in water in the form of urine. Again, the function of the two kidneys: filter the blood from urea, uric acid, excess salts and other waste materials. Number 2, getting rid of these wastes in the form of urine. Number 2, two ureters. The two ureters. Right ureter and left ureter. Ureters are two narrow tubes from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. What is the functions of the two ureters? Transferring the urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Transfer the urine from the two kidneys to the urinary bladder. The structure of the human urinary system. Number 1, two kidneys. Number 2, two ureters. Two ureters are two narrow tubes from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. The functions of the two ureters: transferring the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a balloon-like sac that receives urine from the ureters. The urinary bladder is a balloon-like sac that receives urine from the ureters. The function of the urinary bladder: stores the urine until it is released outside the body through the urethra. Urinary bladder. The function of the urinary bladder: store the urine until it is released outside the body through the urethra. Urethra. Tube extends from the urinary bladder and opens outside the body. Urethra. It is a tube which extends from the urinary bladder and opens outside the body. Urethra. It is a tube which extends from the urinary bladder and opens outside the body. It allows urine to pass outside the body. The function of the urethra: allows urine to pass outside the body. يبقى the structure of the human urinary system: 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, and the urinary bladder. Okay, how to keep the urinary system healthy. How to keep the urinary system healthy. Number 1, drink appropriate quantities of clean water daily, especially in summer, because the body produces more sweat in summer. Number 2, eat healthy and balanced food low in salt, because more salts affect the function of the kidney and harm it. Number 3, keep away and not urinate in the irrigation canals to avoid schistosomiasis disease. Number 4, don't keep urine for long periods. This will affect the function of the kidney. Thanks for your listening and goodbye.